Hi, my name's Matthew Wright and I'm an application engineer for Martin Professional, and I'm here with Leisuretec today to show you a little bit more about some of these fittings here. So what I have here in front of me is we have our all-new Era 150, which is our really nice little new compact wash light. Super small, super light. This is replacing the outgoing Rush MH6 fitting, and it has a whole load of new features that make this a really nice upgrade over that original fitting. First and foremost, we have these really nice handles on here, which make the unit a lot easier to grab. Although it's not a big fitting, it's a lot nicer than having to grab the yoke or any of the rest of it. Underneath the fitting as well, we have a nice standard Omega bracket and a nice big safety cable unit here as well, so it makes the unit really nice and easy to rig. In terms of output and things like that, the unit puts out just shy of 4,000 lumens, and it has a fantastically good beam range of about 5 to about 55 degrees. So you get a really nice narrow beam and a really good wide beam as well. That narrow beam is particularly intense, and we get a really nice calibrated white out of the unit, and we also have a really nice set of calibrated colors as well. So when you're projecting that, even at a narrow end, you get a really nice, fine, small beam of light. You don't get any hexagonalness. You get a nice, smooth, small wash kind of pencil beam, which is really, really good. This really helps when you're using haze with the product as well. So you get a really nice beam through the light, but also a really decent wash out of the unit when used for other applications as well. Other improvements include things like tungsten emulation as well. So if you're using this in more theatrical applications, then you can really utilize those extra things to give you a little bit extra. The unit weighs about 7.5 kilos as well, so it's a really nice small unit, and the tilt and things on this also go down very low, which is really good for a little fitting like this, because if you're using it on a plinth or on top of a truss, you can still actually get the tilt down low enough to hit people on stage or on kind of little corners of rooms and things like that. The ELP PAR is our other new fitting as well. It actually features exactly the same light engine and optical system as the Era 150, and this is very much looking at the Rush PAR 2 as a replacement. So a little bit simpler, obviously no pan and tilt, but it does still have a really fantastic zoom with a similar range to the 150 here. Some really nice physical features on this unit as well. We've got a much sturdier fitting. At first glance, it maybe looks a lot bulkier than the Rush PAR 2 did. But actually, if you measure it kind of across and front to back and things, it's pretty much exactly the same size. It's just got a much bigger body. And that's because you've got all of this nice cooling and things like that in here. So a big solid heatsink to take all of the heat away from that LED engine. This has a really nice benefit in that, unlike a lot of other fittings, you're not actually going to drop any output. So that 4,000 lumens that you're actually getting with this unit, you're actually going to maintain that and get that as long as you're using it. It's not just for the first half hour or anything like that. We've improved little things like the color frame on the front, so you've got a much more solid kind of locking mechanism on here, which was a bit of a pain point on the old unit. So you get a nice satisfying click there. We've also got a more standard sized frame holder as well, so that makes it more suitable for existing accessories for other similar fittings. On the side here as well, we've got these really nice little angle indicators. So this makes it really, really easy to sort of set up. Even if you're not really 100% sure what you're doing, you can give those instructions nice and clearly and get a really nice, obvious kind of end result. The actual bracket itself is also non-slip, so even if I'm sort of doing it like this, it's not going to actually bottom out. It locks the fitting into place, which is really handy. And on the underside, we have a much tidier kind of cable management solution with this slightly angled output. And we also have on the bottom here as well, a standard hole if you just want to put a normal bracket, or we've got the Omega brackets there as well to make life a little bit easier as well. One of the nice features about this unit as well is it has a special mode whereby if you plug a load of these into a lighting desk via DMX, you can actually pre-record color and zoom output. So what this means is if you're doing, say, a Martin event and you want all these fittings in Martin yellow at 20% zoom, then what you can do is you can send that command to all of your lights, you can save that to the light itself, and then when you then reapply just power to the fitting at the event itself, all of those lights will automatically come back in that mode, which is a really nice little feature, and it just makes this even more versatile. As I said a little bit earlier as well, both lights feature full calibration and things like that. You've got color control, all those really nice calibrated Martin colors, as well as CTC channels and things like that. So we're really upgrading these two products and bringing them into a much more professional area of the market. So this brings me to the end of my short introduction about these two fittings. So you've got the ELP PAR and the ERA 150 wash. And if you need any more information about this, do contact Leisuretec and they'll be able to tell you all sorts of really cool stuff about them.